Hello, everybody. I'm Paul Damon. Oh, you got your own mic. All right.
Here, I might just have to turn it on. Josh Stahl.
Go ahead.
All right. 4 years ago, my company, A1 Mechanical, gave me the opportunity to step out of the field and into sales. We do new construction, heating and cooling in the Grand Rapids, Lansing, and Kalamazoo markets. And while I was open to the change in career paths, I was monstrously unprepared for what that would actually take. And I very quickly found out that the business savvy that the people around me seemed to have so naturally come to them, it did not naturally come to me. And I found myself very quickly in far over my head. And then I met Eric, and soon after that got involved in Truth at Work, and specifically the Emerging Leaders Group, men and women stepping into, in my case, a group of men stepping into the business arena and wanting to be leaders in their space in the way that God has called them to. Professionally, personally, spiritually, Truth at Work has impacted my life in a way that I don't know if I can say is true of any other organization, church, or person. It has been a drastic difference. Professionally, I stepped into sales with no network, no connections, no real knowledge of the industry, and needing to make those contacts. And 2 days into sales, COVID shut the world down. And that made it very difficult to network, as you can imagine. But thankfully, there were people in the group that had been through similar-ish experiences in those unprecedented times, and were able to help me see the path forward into networking. About a year and a half after that, I was given the opportunity to step into leading the Grand Rapids branch of my company, which is about when this new guy learning new construction for the first time, now I'm experiencing a housing downturn, which is hard to learn how to manage a new construction company in a housing downturn. But thankfully, there were men in the group that had been through similar situations, and I was able to learn from them. Personally and spiritually, those transitions didn't come into my life very easily, and I didn't handle them well. And my marriage took a toll, particularly because at both of those times I had kid number 1 into sales and then kid number 2 in management. And life changes and gets infinitely harder with 2 kids. I'm not from West Michigan. 2 is good for me. I don't know how you guys handle it with your family sizes here. I am not brave enough. Maybe that's on my list of things to put on the fridge, Eric. But the men in that group encouraged me and helped me, and I know that none of the challenges that I faced are unique to people in this room. Nothing I faced is new or novel. They're things that we all face in business and in life, in marriage, in parenting, in friendship, and that group helped get me through. There's a lot of things I could point to in Truth at Work that I value. The monthly roundtable meetings with guided discussion, the breakout groups led by industry experts on specific business topics. The thing I like the most about Truth at Work that I've not found anywhere else is what Eric mentioned in the video, and that's accountability. The men in that group know me, and I know them, and that gives us the unique ability to speak into each other's lives and call us out on our crap in a way that I've never had anywhere else. I want to share one story, and I'll leave names out of it. There was one group we had probably about 6-8 months ago now that one member had been bringing his hot topic to the table, and it was a reoccurring hot topic and one that he'd set goals for and maybe wasn't making as much progress as he ought to have made. And I saw another man in that group step up and in a way that only a brother can, lovingly and brutally dissect every excuse that this person had. I remember sitting back, well, one, because I felt like I was in the crossfire a little bit and I just wanted to get out of eye contact. But I remember sitting back with a sense of worship and awe that I rarely feel to that extent in worship gatherings. And I remember thinking, I feel like I am hearing the Spirit of God speaking into this man's life right now, chiseling away the excuses of what God has called him not to be and revealing who God has called him to be. And it was harsh and it was brutal. And there's a reason I'm not sharing an experience that was directed at me. I'm glad I wasn't in the spotlight. But discussions like that aren't uncommon in our group. They happen very frequently. And I would challenge you, if you don't have a group in your life that knows you and you know them, a group in your life that you can rely on to call you out and call you up, consider Truth at Work. Whether you have been in business for 40 years or 40 days, there is a group out there that would benefit you and that you would benefit them. We worship a God of intentionality and growth, and it's our God's desire that we serve where we're at, that we become better servants, that we become better leaders, better husbands and fathers, wives and mothers, that we become better children of God so that we can bring more glory to place at his feet. And that's the ultimate goal of Truth at Work, is to glorify God in the market space to which he has called us. It has been my absolute honor to be a part of this group, and if you have any questions, I would love to meet you for coffee. I do like coffee. Thank you very much. So you can meet for hot chocolate or coffee, and I would love to hear your story. I'd love to be able to share more about mine, and just to help you ask the question, where is God calling me to be? Thank you, Eric, for giving me the chance to present on Truth at Work.
Thanks, Josh. Well done. I'm Paul Damon with Stewardship Planning Partners. I'm founder and president. I work with John DeLang. John is here somewhere. John, wave your, yep. Oh, he's in the back, all right. So we focus on helping people experience the joy of living generously. And we do that by working with nonprofits and their ministry partners. And Truth at Work has been a huge positive benefit in my life. And I really enjoy and appreciate Eric, and I enjoy and appreciate our group of men that get together and share a lot of what Josh said, just similar experience. We're open and honest with each other. We hold each other accountable. We give advice. We receive advice. We share stories. When we get stuck, it's an awesome place. And we had a similar experience in our group where, some of the same issues kept coming up every month. And people get called out, brother and sister, man. They get called out if they're just not doing it. And so it's really helpful to get that from peers versus people who maybe don't understand you and what you're going through. As business owners, we share an understanding of what's going on and the challenges that we all face. And so the opportunity to learn and grow from each other is really, really a big part of why I started with Truth at Work. I think I was in the first group at the beginning and still there, and I don't have any desire to leave. One of the experiences I had was I sold my wealth management firm, of the final piece of it this year, June 30th. And again, that was another great opportunity for me to get input from my brothers and from Eric and just think about things differently, think outside the box, so to speak, and help me kind of process and navigate some of the challenges. My son-in-law, who was one of the people that bought my firm, is in the other group with Eric that he runs, and so he, I'm sure, was saying all kinds of bad things about me, right? Although I don't know any of those things because there is a confidentiality, but I've been trying to get Ed to spill the beans, but he won't, so I'm still thinking about it, Ed. But anyway, seriously, it's been a really great opportunity to go through some of those more difficult things and be able to lean on your brothers and to be able to get that advice. These guys will be lifelong friends. We don't see each other socially a lot. We do a little bit, thanks to Eric, but it's the reality is if I see them 10 years from now or 20 years from now, it'll be like we haven't missed a beat because it's just that kind of closeness and that kind of bond in Jesus that really draws us together and keeps us together. We have a lot of great guys in our group. I want to thank Kurt Naderveld particularly. He's a lot of great things, but one thing is he's a lousy golfer. And so I'm not the worst golfer in our group. So Kurt, I really appreciate you, brother, taking the hit for me. I usually win money when we play, so. Yep. So thank you for listening, and I would encourage you, if you are considering it at all, to have that conversation with Eric. You will be blessed. You will grow. You'll be stretched. You'll be challenged. You'll be encouraged. You'll be prayed over. We pray for each other regularly, and so what more can you ask for? Thanks, Eric.
Thanks,